Film production is a set of moving images that tell a story to the audience, or documentaries. When watching the movie, any specific genders, the viewers can watch movies or on their TV, can even be trained to inspire people, or music, as it creates empathy. Sound creates a lot of emotion. This is caused by Computer game production are a series of images where the user can interact with things on it, such as the characters and the environment. The main purpose of computer games is for the entertainment. Computer games are also used for education reasons, such as fighting games for the army. Computer games can be purchased on any console, such as Xbox, PlayStation, or computers. You can also play games on portable devices such as the DS or mobile phones. Games are now becoming a virtual reality. Print production, physical medium, which is non-digital, that doesn't portray text or image. This can be presented as important information for education or entertainment. This can be used for health and safety reasons and can be a way of contacting people. Print can be used for advertising a product or a political idea. Books are also used to convey a message or a story to the audience. Or books can also be used for education reasons, such as mathematical books. Creating films are also a way of researching and collecting data. Print is also used for anything related to ink on paper. When considering about the cost and the finance of a movie, the company should take in consideration about what they really need to make. They should make this movie. By doing this, they should start by making a budget. They will need to think about what sort of equipment they need and what sort of equipment is necessary. They will also need to think about the materials they will be using, such as costumes, etc. If they were to rent a studio, they will need to think about the rent. They also need to think about any staff that they'll be employing, any appropriate staff that is needed for each part of the movie. If the company wasn't to create a budget, they will go bankrupt. They will spend all the money on unnecessary stuff such as equipment that they've brought and they haven't even used, and employing too many staff for one job. When thinking about the finance they need, they'll need to think about all the different softwares they're going to use. They may also want to put into consideration about the marketing and the merchandising that they will be using in the future. Merchandising is usually aimed at productions. Marketing is usually aimed at productions, and merchandising is usually aimed towards children for their toys. When planning and recording for a movie, it takes up a lot of time. Time can be wasted through planning and preparation. When it comes to planning for the movie, you'll need to think about the research. You'll need to plan out your ideas, gather up an idea of what your movie is going to be about. This will take up a lot of time as you will have to have a clear understanding of what your movie is going to be about. You will also need to consider how long it will take to book and move into a studio. You will also need to think about how long it will take to create and record. When recording for your movie, you will need to consider how many retakes and how many mistakes you will be taking. How many mistakes can cause too much time and time waste for the movie. It means the release date could be a lot later. Having a final deadline for the production helps set out where each task is going to be completed and how it's going to be completed. Depending on what type of production type you're using, if you're using short movies, it will take a shorter time to create. However, if you're creating a featured film, it will take a lot more longer. You will need to consider the experience of the staff, the sort of skills they have to offer to the production, the sort of software they are good on, so prevalent for this type of production. Having no skills or no experience will take up a lot of time when creating this movie. You'll be needing to look at their portfolio, what sort of qualifications they have. They are 100% right for this job. There will be many roles such as scriptwriters, cameramen or women, producers, stunt doubles, editors, designers, technical designers, costume designers. When thinking about the facilities, You need to think about where you're going to put the equipment, such as computers, where they're going to need to go for their editing, their green screens and live sets. With the live sets, producers pay off people, or the owner of the road, to keep it clear while they shoot their movie. The problem with this is that the producer wanted to make sure that it's a quiet area, as it might not be able to be possible to pay off everyone, or to even record. As well as thinking about the other people and the environment, you're going to need to think about the equipment you're going to need to carry around, such as the toilets, trailers. Trailers will be used for makeup and costume changing. So for live sets, there will be a lot to consider. When thinking about the materials, it depends what sort of film you're making, so this varies from the materials and the cost. But to shoot any movie, you are definitely going to need a video camera. The equipment that comes with it, such as an SD card, tripod, and a mic. You will also need to consider all the different types of props you are going to need. You will need to consider what type of makeup and what sort of costumes you are going to need that is included in the movie. You may also want to consider a green screen. A green screen will help you act out things that you can't do in real life. You'll need to consider all the different types of softwares for the editing and what type of computers you're going to need to use that is right for the software. If you were to use sound effects in your movies, you could use sound libraries to collect sounds and find sounds that are suitable for your movie, which are also non-copyright. Using the internet will also be a way of researching and finding out the things you need for each movie. Contribution is where other people are part of a company or a production that help give money so the company can continue and complete the production. A sponsor will also help the company as they will sponsor the production as they go along. Producers also help fund the company, and they also have contacts of the actors, such as important people or the staff. Writers are also a contribution to the company as they help write the story. Directors are also contributions as they are decision makers in what needs to be done and how things can be done or changed. Cameramen and women are also a major part as they have the skills to show the movie and create it. Depending on your production, you may need to consider the different types of studios, such as if you was to have a live set, then your studio will need to be a production studio. Or if you was to have, say, an animated production, then it will be an office-style studio. Depending on how far away the location is, you will need to consider how far away it is and how easy it is to get there. You will need to think about how much it's going to cost your company and how easy it is to get your staff there and back. Also thinking about the weather of the location, such as the Antarctica. In the Antarctica this summertime there is hardly any snow, whereas in the winter there will be a lot more snow. So by considering the weather, you will have an idea of where you would need to go. Having a location of where earthquakes and tsunamis, they won't be very useful, as it's not very practical for your production. Staff can get hurt and equipment can get damaged. Advertising can be aimed at adults or children for a specific product or service, whereas some adverts for adults can be inappropriate for children to see, such as smoking adverts. Having regulations in adverts are a reminder to the audience of what they are selling, without being offensive or rude. If children are watching a certain advert that is aimed at adults, still going to need to consider that there should be no bad language or any rude comments within the advert. By doing this, the children won't be able to imitate or copy what is in the adverts, even though it is aimed at adults. So by having regulations, it can stop any bad stuff such as racism or sexism. When showing adverts, they need to be true and accurate about the product or service they are selling. If they are not true or accurate, they may come across as misleading and being presented with the incorrect information. An example that I found is the Snickers advert with Mr. Bean in it. It comes across as if you become hungry and you don't eat a Snickers, you will be like Mr. Bean. Or if you are hungry and you do eat a Snickers, you will become some sort of warrior. However, the Snickers advert will regulate this advert to remind the audience of what it's trying to tell you. Another example that I found, which is so inappropriate for children, are children's cartoons advertising smoking, portraying women's rights, as the women are shown doing all the work around the house and the men hiding smoking. If children were to see this advert, they will be influenced to be smoking, as it's their favourite cartoon characters. Children will also be rude and sexism towards women, as the Flintstones are in the advert. The reason why they make children adverts is because children are really impulsive. If they see a toy that they like on their TV shows and they don't have it, then they can become very annoying towards a family member. For children adverts, they place them in between cartoon shows or children's shows. Children can't miss a single thing. The adverts will have a catchy song so that the children won't forget that certain product. If a children's advert was placed on an adult's program or channel, then the children won't see much of it. This won't have much effect towards the company who are selling that product. Adverts can be viewed in many ways, such as TV, YouTube, or in between shows. So we can't stop children from watching any bad adverts. So this is why adverts have to be suitable to a max, where there is nothing too extreme for the children. So advertisers don't have much control of what children are watching and where they are watching it. There are short films, feature-length films, movie trailers, product advertisement, and user-generated content. A short film can last up to 40 minutes but no less than 5 minutes. After 40 minutes, it counts as a feature-length film. The purpose of a short film is used for people's entertainment. It appeals to people who don't have much time on their hands. Short films can also gain interest from other producers or filmmakers. It's a way of introducing your skills and what you are capable of doing. Short films are also a way of advertising for bigger film releases. For most feature-length movies now have short films before the movie has started. Movies can also be broadcasted through festivals. However, films that have already been published won't be accepted into other film festivals. Any user can access any short movies through YouTube or Vimeo. A feature-length film can last up to 70 minutes to 200 minutes. These are used for audiences' entertainment. Feature-length films are standalone movies but can also be adapted into TV series, such as The Simpsons. The Simpsons have their own TV series. They are on mostly every night, but yet they have also their own feature-length film. Feature-length films can be based on books or real-life situations, such as The Fifth Wave. They have recently brought out 3 books, and this is a newly released movie. Feature-length films are broadcast through cinemas, TV, online streaming, or on DVDs and Blu-rays. Movie trailers usually last up to 3 to 4 minutes, but can sometimes last up to 5. The purpose of a movie trailer is that it is used to inform the audience of an upcoming film. This is used for sale purposes. You can see a movie trailer through a cinema before a movie is started, on TV in between TV shows, or on DVDs before your movie starts. You can also see them online on websites through third-party websites. When you're out and about travelling, you can also see them through billboards. Product advertising can only last up to 15 to 30 seconds. These advertisements are aiming to make a certain product look amazing. While making the product look amazing as is, they need to be as accurate as they are with their information. They aim to make the product more appealing towards their audience, so they are convinced to buy that product. This is broadcast between TV programs and cinema before the film begins. These are also shown on YouTube before the video is started. User generator can last up to 90 minutes, depending on what subject it is aiming at. For example, documentaries. However, other content can be as little as a second. This can be related by general public, the duration spent. There are many different file formats for either video or images. MNG stands for Multiple Network Graphics. This file is used for a raster image. This represents the purpose of a multiple image extension. The extension of that file is a PNG. PNG stands for Portable Network Graphics. A PNG file holds the bitmap colors of an animation. PNG network has been running since 1994. AVI stands for Audio Visual Interlevel. AVI files can contain both video and images. This allows the audio to play back. MP4 stands for MPEG for part 14. This file was used to store audio or video data rather than coded information. These videos can also be streamed online, whereas the MP3 stands for MPEG-1 Audio Layer 3. WMV stands for Window Media Video. This is compressed with more than one Microsoft video. Microsoft utilizes multiple video codes streaming online. WMV files are now playable on several media players. MOV is a QuickTime program which is run by Apple. MOV is an MPEG-4 video container. This is usually used for saving movies or other video files. Files contain one or more tracks of each that stores a certain type of data, such as text, effects, or video. Aspects radio is the radio of a picture's width or height. Say if the picture was 1 by 1, the width and the height would be the same. To have 4 by 3 aspects, you'll have to reduce the amount of pixels that creates the image. When choosing a projector, TV, computer, monitor, or laptop, one of the first things is that you will need to consider the format of the screen. Traditionally, electronic devices are used at standard ratios of 4 by 3, but for more recent formats, a widescreen is 16 by 9. 16 by 9 ratio is becoming more of a popular choice. An example of this is laptops and TVs. Originally, TVs had the ratio aspects of 4 by 3, which is an original square shape. This is because when the first film was aired by being displayed on a TV, they used 4 by 3. This is because movies were photographed on films which could only be viewed on regular screens of 4 by 3. However, in the 1950s, the film industry changed. They started to use a widescreen image. It's only recently that TV screens have become a widescreen TV of 16 by 9. Standard 4 by 3 televisions are gradually phasing out. As a standard definition, 16 by 9 widescreens are becoming more popular as it consists more pixels, which means a lot better image quality.